All right, get ready, because today we're going deep on something really important for all you skaters out there.
Knee health.
Knee health, you got it.
But we're taking a kind of unique approach, though.
Yeah.
Focusing on how to keep those knees healthy, not just, for next week, but for a lifetime of skating.
Exactly, it's about skating for life.
A concept Brian B. Conhigh calls Rollgevity.
Brian B. Conhigh, the creator of the Soulful fitness roller skate training system.
His insights are gonna, I think, really change how you think about skating.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, with the whole roller skating resurgence in the past few years.
Right.
So many new skaters might not be thinking about, the long-term impact
That's true.
on their bodies.
Yeah, that's a really important point, and it really, I think, speaks to the need for this kind of information.
For sure.
Because Conhigh doesn't just focus on avoiding injuries.
Right.
He really dives deep into the mechanics of skating.
Yeah.
How to optimize your movement.
That's right.
Both for performance and longevity.
Exactly. So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
Conhigh uses this really clever phrase, knee deep, to emphasize just how important knee health is for skaters.
Well, and not just a play on words.
I know, right?
He's arguing that focusing on your knees isn't just about preventing falls in the short term.
Yeah.
It's about really maximizing your enjoyment and skill development for years to come.
And to really drive that point home, he starts with some pretty interesting facts about the knee itself.
Facts. Oh, yeah.
Did you know that it is the largest joint in the body?
It's true.
The largest.
The largest, and it's not just a simple hinge.
Right.
It also allows for rotation. It's a really complex structure involving bones, muscles, tendons, ligaments, cartilage.
That's a lot.
All working together to support your movement.
So we have this complex joint, and we're putting it through a lot when we skate.
That's right.
Where do we even begin to address Rollgevity?
Well, Conhigh outlines 4 common issues that can actually sabotage your progress and put your knees at risk.
Okay.
He calls these the 4 horsemen of knee apocalypse.
Okay, I love a good dramatic name.
Me too.
What's the first one?
The first one might seem harmless,
Okay.
but it could have serious consequences. Leaning forward.
I always thought that was important for generating power and speed. What's the issue?
Well, when you lean forward too much,
Okay.
it throws off your center of gravity
Yeah.
and puts all this unnecessary strain on your knees.
Oh,
And then it kind of has this cascade effect.
really?
Leads to inefficient muscle engagement, can make pushing off and maintaining balance much harder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It can even lead to problems further up your leg,
Oh, wow.
like that burning in your shins.
I've had that, especially after longer sessions.
Right.
I never connected it to my posture, though.
It's really common, but it's a good example of how interconnected our bodies are.
Yeah,
Even a small misalignment can have ripple effects
for sure.
throughout your system.
So leaning forward, definitely something to avoid.
Watch out for it.
Okay, what's the next horseman?
This one might be even more surprising. Constantly bending your knees.
Oh.
You know how people always say, stay low for stability?
Yeah, always.
Conhigh argues that that can actually be detrimental to your knees in the long run.
Seriously. I always thought keeping my knees bent was the key to good skater technique.
Well, there's a nuance to it.
Okay.
Constant deep knee bending
Yeah.
can put a lot of stress on the ligaments and cartilage in your knee joint.
So we're talking long-term problems then.
Yeah, think about it. You're basically compressing that joint
Oh, yeah.
for extended periods, which can wear it down over time.
So how do you maintain stability without constantly bending your knees?
Well, Conhigh introduces a concept he calls the release and relax position, or RR for short.
Far.
And it's all about finding a balance
Okay.
between a locked knee for stability and a slight bend for mobility.
Okay, break down RR for me. How does that actually work in practice?
Okay, so think about it like this.
Okay.
When you need to be locked in,
Yeah.
stable, your knee should be at 0 degrees of flexion.
So basically straight leg.
Straight leg, exactly. But when you're ready to roll and generate power,
Okay.
you relax those quads and allow a slight bend,
How much are we talking?
somewhere between 2 and 10 degrees of flexion.
So avoiding that constant deep bend.
Right, it's a subtle shift,
Okay.
but can make a huge difference in how efficiently you use your body
And the stress on your knees.
and the stress on your knees.
I'm already thinking about how to incorporate this.
Yeah.
I think I stay in a deep bend too long, probably out of habit.
It's a common habit, But once you are aware of RR,
Yeah.
you can start to make those adjustments
Definitely.
and feel the difference.
All right, 2 horsemen down.
2 down.
What's next?
This one might seem a bit unexpected.
Okay.
Immobilized toes.
What? How do our toes play into knee health?
You might be surprised how interconnected everything is.
Okay.
When you think about it, your toes are pretty much locked in place
Yeah.
inside those skate boots.
Especially if you're wearing those like tight, fashionable boots.
Exactly. And that lack of mobility
Yeah.
can actually have consequences further up the leg,
Oh, wow.
including your knees.
Really?
Think about it. Your toes play a crucial role in stability, shock absorption, even generating forward motion.
I never really thought about that.
When they're immobile, the muscles and tendons in your feet
Okay.
and lower legs have to work harder to compensate,
Right.
which can lead to imbalances and strain over time.
Okay, so what can we do about that?
Well, Kanhai emphasizes the importance of counteracting this prolonged immobilization
Okay.
by spending time off wheels doing activities that allow your toes to flex and stretch freely.
So giving our feet some much needed love.
Exactly.
All right, bring on the final horseman.
This one is probably the most obvious, but it's worth reiterating
Okay.
because it's so important.
Okay.
Inappropriate boot fit.
Ah, the eternal struggle.
I know, right?
Finding that perfect skate boot.
It's not just about aesthetics.
Okay.
It's about your long-term health.
Yeah.
The wrong boot fit, whether it's size, heel height, stiffness, any other factor, can affect your technique, your safety,
Yeah.
and yes, your knee health.
Okay.
It can lead to those other horsemen we discussed.
Really?
Like leaning forward and excessive knee bending,
Just to compensate.
just to compensate for the poor fit.
So it's really worth taking the time to dial in that perfect fit.
Absolutely. Prioritize fit and function over fashion.
Okay, great advice.
Your body will thank you in the long run.
What about the whole debate about heeled versus flat boots?
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Does Kanhai weigh in on that?
He does, and he uses a really interesting analogy to explain the biomechanics involved.
Okay.
He compares wearing a heeled boot to wearing a mitella.
A mitella, like an arm sling? I'm not sure I see the connection.
Okay, think about what a mitella does. Okay, it positions your arm, elbow, and shoulder in a way that promotes healing
Okay.
and minimizes strain after an injury.
Right.
Kanhai argues that a heeled boot does something similar for your leg.
Okay.
The heel helps to align your leg, knee, and hip in a more biomechanically advantageous position.
So he's saying that a heeled boot can actually help prevent some of these issues we've been talking about?
Exactly. He argues that wearing flat boots can actually encourage that forward lean and excessive knee bending,
Oh, interesting.
whereas the heel can help counteract those tendencies.
So if someone's serious about Rollgevity, a heeled boot might be the way to go.
It's worth considering. But as with everything, there are individual factors to take into account.
Right.
If you have specific concerns or pre-existing conditions,
Yeah.
it's best to consult with a professional.
Great point. Now, before we move on, I have to ask about something else Kanhai mentions. That sounds a little bit scary.
Oh.
Morton's neuroma.
Oh, yeah. That's not a fun one.
What is that?
It's a condition that affects the nerves in the ball of your foot. Can cause sharp, burning pain, tingling, even numbness.
Really?
It's unfortunately fairly common for skaters,
Oh, no.
often caused by wearing boots that are too narrow in the toe box.
So those tight, stylish boots could be setting us up for some serious pain.
It's a risk to be aware of.
Definitely.
That's why, again, proper boot fit is so crucial.
Yeah.
It's not just about comfort, it's about preventing long-term damage.
Okay, so we've covered the 4 horsemen.
Yep.
The importance of boot fit. The dangers lurking in our toe boxes.
It's a lot to think about.
But what about actually building strength and resilience to support our knees? Does Kanhai address that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
He's a big proponent of what he calls off-wheels training.
Off-wheels training.
He believes it's just as important as what you do on your skates.
Interesting.
It's all about strengthening those key muscle groups
Okay.
that support your knees,
Yeah.
and counteract those imbalances that can develop from the repetitive motions of skating.
Okay, so we're talking about exercises that target specific muscles.
Exactly.
Like what?
He specifically recommends focusing on your glutes.
Glutes, okay.
And hamstrings.
Okay.
Think squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, anything that really works those powerhouse muscles.
I have to admit, I've been guilty of neglecting strength training.
Really?
Yeah. I tend to focus more on skating itself.
Oh,
okay.
And stretching. It's a common oversight, but Kanhai makes a really important point.
Yeah.
That strength training isn't just about building muscle.
Okay.
It's about building resilience and protecting your joints.
Oh, yeah.
Wear and tear.
Right.
And this is especially important as we age.
Okay.
Because we naturally start to lose muscle mass.
I did not know that.
It's a process known as sarcopenia.
Sarcopenia. That sounds intense.
It's a natural part of aging.
Okay.
But the good news is...
There's good news.
There's good news. We can slow it down.
Okay.
Significantly with regular strength training.
So it's like an investment in your future mobility.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm convinced I need to add some strength training.
Good.
I'm curious about the mental side of things.
Oh, yeah.
Does he address the psychological aspects of Rollgevity?
He does. He emphasizes the importance of finding joy and fulfillment in the process.
Okay.
Remember, Rollgevity is about sustaining this lifelong passion.
Right.
And that requires more than just physical strength.
So it's not just about pushing our limits, striving for perfection?
No, it's about cultivating a positive relationship.
Okay.
With skating and with our bodies.
Yeah, I think that's so important, especially today,
right,
where, perfect bodies, flawless technique.
It's easy to lose sight of the simple joy of movement.
Kanhai's message is a good reminder that Rollgevity is so much more than physical performance.
Right.
It's about nourishing our souls as well.
It is. Well said.
So we talked a lot about prevention, but what happens when things go wrong? What about dealing with knee injuries?
He provides a really helpful overview
of
common knee injuries.
Okay.
Things like osteoarthritis, meniscus tears, tendinitis, bursitis. He stresses knowing the signs and seeking help when needed.
So he's not sugarcoating things. Roller skating comes with risks.
Right.
And we need to be prepared for that.
It does. And he highlights the importance of listening to your body.
Okay.
Not pushing through pain.
Right.
Pain is a signal that something is wrong.
Yeah.
And ignoring it
can lead to bigger problems.
Can lead to bigger problems down the road.
So when is it time to see a doctor? What are the red flags?
Any persistent pain, swelling, or instability in your knee should be checked out.
Checked out by a professional.
Yeah, and if you experience any sudden, sharp pain or a popping sensation.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
No, that's a sign to stop skating immediately.
Immediately.
And seek medical attention.
I think we as skaters can be a little tough.
Yeah, we are.
For our own good sometimes. We push through discomfort.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to miss out on a skate session.
Right, but Kanhai reminds us that taking care of our bodies is essential for long-term enjoyment of the sport.
So sometimes taking a break or seeking help is the best way to keep skating for years to come.
It is. It's about playing the long game.
What about skaters who are dealing with existing knee issues or recovering from an injury?
He emphasizes the importance of working closely with a qualified medical professional.
Like a physical therapist?
Yeah, physical therapist or sports medicine doctor.
Okay.
They can help you develop a personalized rehabilitation plan that addresses your specific needs and goals.
So not a one-size-fits-all?
Definitely not. Everybody is different, and everybody's recovery journey is unique.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's about finding the right balance between rest, rehabilitation, and gradually returning to activity.
Does Kanhai talk about how to effectively communicate with healthcare providers about roller skating?
He does. He encourages skaters to be proactive in educating their doctors.
What about the demands?
About the specific demands of roller skating.
Yeah, because I imagine a lot of healthcare providers might not be super familiar.
Right. They might not fully understand the biomechanics involved.
Right.
The intensity, the activity, the potential for repetitive strain injuries.
So we might need to be our own advocates.
You might.
Explain things in detail.
Exactly. The more information you can provide about your skating habits, your training routine, and any specific concerns you have, the better equipped your doctor will be to diagnose and treat any issues that arise.
Great tip. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Good.
Now I want to shift gears a bit. We've covered a lot about injury prevention.
Yeah.
But what about maximizing performance?
Ooh.
Taking our skating to the next level.
I like it.
Does Kanhai offer any insights into that?
He does, and it all comes back to that idea of training with intention.
Okay.
Remember the release and relax position we discussed?
Oh, yeah, RR.
RR. He explains that mastering this subtle shift in knee position is crucial for developing efficient and powerful skating techniques.
So it's not just about protecting our knees.
It's not just about that.
It's a performance enhancer.
Exactly. It's about understanding how to use your body in a way that generates power while minimizing strain.
Seems like a lot of this comes down to body awareness.
It does.
Making small adjustments.
Small adjustments, big impact.
Kanhai emphasizes that this awareness extends beyond just your knees, right?
He does.
He talks about overall body alignment, core strength, flexibility.
Yes.
He wants skaters to think of their bodies as interconnected systems.
He does.
And to work on building strength and flexibility in all areas.
In all areas.
Making me rethink my whole approach to training.
Yeah.
I tend to focus a lot on my legs.
Okay.
But realizing I need to pay more attention to my core and upper body.
It's all connected.
It is. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
I
want to circle back to something else Kanhai mentions that piqued my interest. The design of roller skate plates.
Oh, yeah? Interesting.
And their potential impact on knee health.
Right.
He seems to suggest that the way plates are mounted can influence our stance.
Right.
And potentially increase our risk of injury.
That's right. He touches on how the positioning of the plates can affect a skater's stance and alignment.
Right.
Potentially putting more stress on the knees.
Okay.
He doesn't go into a ton of detail in our source material.
Yeah.
But he raises a really interesting question about how equipment choices can impact our long-term well-being.
Yeah.
It's something I think a lot of skaters don't even consider.
It's like he's encouraging us to think beyond just the physical training.
Right.
And consider all these factors that contribute to rollgevity.
Exactly. Taking a holistic approach.
A holistic approach. I like it.
Making informed decisions that align with our goals.
You know, it's funny. Before this deep dive, I really thought that rollgevity was mostly about stretching and maybe taking an extra rest day here and there.
Okay.
But it's so much more than that.
It is.
It's a whole philosophy of skating.
It really is. It's about understanding your body.
Yeah.
Training intelligently.
Making choices that support your passion.
In a sustainable way.
Yeah, and recognizing when something isn't working and knowing when to seek help.
Exactly. Asking for help is not a weakness.
Right.
It's a sign of intelligence and commitment to your own well-being.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what is the one big takeaway?
Oh, that's a good question.
That Kanhai leaves us with?
He reminds us that rollgevity is more than just a concept. It's a way of life.
A way of life, yeah.
Integrating these principles into everything we do on and off the skates.
Making conscious choices to keep doing what we love for years to come.
Exactly, and it's never too late to start.
Doesn't matter your age, your skill level.
It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned skater or just lacing up for the first time.
Embrace this philosophy.
Yeah, create a skating journey.
That's both joyful and sustainable.
That's what we want.
I'm feeling so inspired.
Good, I'm glad.
To get out there and put all of this knowledge into practice.
I think you should.
I'm going to be looking at everything differently.
I think you will.
My skates, my training, my body.
That's the beauty of knowledge.
Yeah.
It has the power to transform our experience.
Open up new possibilities.
Open up to new possibilities, exactly.
This deep dive has been truly transformative.
It has.
I'm so grateful to Brian Kanhai for sharing his insights.
His work is truly a gift.
It is, to the skating community.
To the skating community, it is.
Well, that is a wrap on this episode, folks. I hope you are leaving feeling as empowered and informed as I am.
Me too.
Remember, rollgevity is within reach for all of us.
It is.
So get out there, lace up those skates, take care of your bodies, and keep on rolling.
Keep rolling.